vindication for her, and the way Mr. Spence defended the administration of President Marcos, a vindication for him also.
Okay, can you tell me how the Philippine government looks at what happened?
I'm sure that the Philippine government shares with the Filipino people the disappointment over the verdict, but the jury has made its decision and we will abide by that decision. Mrs. Marcos might have won the battle, but we have won the war, because it's through this trial that the world now knows exactly what the Marcos regime was all about. It was unbridled corruption and total abuse of power.
One of the Philippine government lawyers who had observed the trial in New York is Ted Laguatan. Attorney Laguatan analyzed the significance of the jury decision and its implications to Imelda's return to the Philippines.
First of all, this is a jury system here. I think that the prosecution presented a very, very good case. We could have had a stronger case, for instance, if the witnesses who did not come here came. But in a jury system, we don't really know what variables affected the jury's decision. This is not a heavenly court dispensing absolute justice. There are some factors that affect the decision. But as to how we will continue with our other civil cases, we will gather all of the evidences that were introduced into this trial, which we had been waiting for because we couldn't use them before proceeding with the civil cases. In other words, we can utilize some of the evidence, is what I'm saying, in this criminal trial, in our civil cases.
Would you be aware of just exactly what the American position, the American government position would be insofar as allowing Mrs. Marcos, now that she is acquitted, to leave the United States and to travel, not necessarily to the Philippines, but to other parts of the world? Is this a probability with the help of the U.S. government?
This would be a policy decision, but given the danger of Mrs. Marcos returning to the Philippines, because of the fact that she and her family still possesses a tremendous amount of resources which she can cost to stabilize the country. It is to the mutual interest of the United States and the Philippines, for reasons of national security here in the Philippines and for reasons of political stability, to keep her from going there. And if there is a danger of her going there if she leaves here, then she can be properly detained here for valid reasons.
Ms. Marcos said it was the best birthday gift she has had. She said her one obsession now is to return to the country.
Ma'am, how are you? Magandang umaga.
I am very well, thank you.
Alam po ninyo, kanina pa naging tayo ng tinig ninyo ang ating mabayang Pilipino. At unang-una sa lahat, bibigay ko sa inyo pagkata para kung nakanood ninyo yon ay inyo pong may bahagi sa mga mamaya dito.
Unang-una ko itaw-tulong nagpapasalamat sa ating mga mahal na kababayan na sila sa kailang mga panalangin upang iyan na nagbigay ng tulong at dahilan kung paano tayo ay nagbagi dito sa Nueva York, dito sa kasong ito na ngayon sa lahat ng count 1, 2, 3, and 4 ay lahat na guilty. At ito ay vindication hindi ni Mrs. Marcos kundi ni Presidente Marcos at ng buong Republika ng Pilipinas, sapagkat nakikita dito na miski talagang sinuyod nila ang buhay at ang mga ginawa ng Pangulong Marcos sa 20 years na siya naging Pangulo ng ating Republika ay malinis at wala lahat ng kanyang batikos ay hindi katotohanan. Kaya ako'y natuwa na naging totoo yung sinabi ni Pangulong Marcos sa akin, fear not, because the truth will set us free, and the truth set free. Maraming salamat sa aking mga kabayan.
Yes, ma'am. I understand, ma'am, na galang kayo para sa pagkuha ng passport para makabalik dito sa Pilipinas. Ano po mga plans pa ninyo, ma'am?
Marami pa kaming gagawin dito, marami pa akong dapat ayusin. At yan ang aking pangarap at adikan at aking nais mangyari na sana ay mailibing ang Maong Presidente Marcos, Pilipinas. At ngayon na siya ay nakita ng buong mundo na siya ay malinis, siya ay maka-Diyos, makabayan at makatao na Pangulo, na leader ng isang bansa. Siya ay completely vindicated sapagkat dito sa kasong ito, wala silang ginawa kung hindi talagang tiningnan nila ang bawat isa-isang ginawa, lalo na sa question sa pera, the money flow of going in and out of the country. Kaya ako ay natapasalamat sa may kapal. This is divine justice. And I am thanking the good Lord for the vindication of our name and our sacred honor, and also for the Filipino people. Dito ngayon mapapakita natin, taas no tayo sa buong mundo na ang Pilipino, kahit na eksaminin ng gusto ang buhay ng isang leader na Pilipino, ay makikita nila na malinis at talagang makabayan. At dito din makikita na hindi nagkamali ang Filipino people, ang sambayanang Pilipino, na ilagay at ilubok si 10 taon kapagkat ang kanyang pamumuno ng ating bansa ay malinis, justice, and isang leader na talagang katao.
Here at home, President Aquino expressed disappointment at the acquittal of Mrs. Marcos. A statement issued following the decision in New York, the President said he was sorry to hear the courageous efforts made by the American prosecution have not succeeded. But Mrs. Marcos is standing firm on her decision, banning the return of the former First Lady to the country. The President said the acquittal does not alter national interest and security grounds on which that decision was premised. She added Mrs. Marcos will face Philippine courts at the appropriate time. This morning, journalists Imelda Marcos and police interviewed President Aquino on the acquittal of Mrs. Marcos. Here is a portion of that interview.
What are the current implications of the Well, as I said, first of all, it is an appointing and well, of course, the prosecution did its best, and certainly they were very courageous in their effort, and I thank also the witnesses who went to New York. However, it does appear that the jury was not convinced of Imelda's active participation in this racketeering charge.
And will it make it more difficult for our government to recover the Marcos assets?
Well, I think so. It would have, let's put it this way, it would have been easier if there had been a conviction.
Today's guilty verdict acquitting Mrs. Marcos has naturally stirred a lot of legal comment. PCG Commissioner Maximo Maseren, casting on a special early morning TV coverage today, said the decision does not mean the war has been lost. He pointed out that Philippines had won several other civil suits in the United States, notably that California court decision giving the California Overseas Bank to the Philippine government.
The only trouble is that the people were need to expect so much because of these deposits allegedly in Switzerland. Actually, we don't know how much there is because now we have not been allowed to look into these accounts. The estimate that has been made was ranging from $5 billion to $10 billion. So that's why probably, Mr. Attorney Coronel, we have not done anything substantially compared to the expectations.
Lawyer Antonio Coronel, on the other hand, who had represented some Marcos associates in court suits, said today's decision in New York is a tribute to the courtroom strategy of the flamboyant Jerry Spence. He noted that Spence did not even bother to present a single witness.
Well, it is a signal triumph for Mrs. Marcos, a triumph for her lawyers, particularly Spence, who has performed quite creditably, I think, despite his being branded by Buddy Gomez as a clown, and a triumph of justice in general and of the American justice system. The government, in several instances in the past, had always been saying that they choose to have the Marcos criminal cases litigated there because, well, they didn't say so directly. The implication is that the system of justice there would better serve the purpose of the administration. Now that a jury has acquitted Ms. Marcos and the courts have spoken, I think we should put an end to all of these speculations and talks about criminal acts and liabilities committed by the Marcoses and start on a footing.
This special report is brought to you by RCBC and Rusty Lopez, warned to make a difference.
Back in New York, Imelda Marcos and her close friends celebrated their victory at the Dag Hammarskjöld Tower. In an interview, Mrs. Marcos thanked the Filipino people and everyone who supported her throughout the trial.
Ma'am, happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I thank our government for the prayers for the vindication of the Marcos and the Filipino people. Thank you.
Suspense.
We're right here.
Suspense. From the Philippines, you have got a lot of fans out there now. Would you say something for the fans there?
Well, you should be very proud of your First Lady. She's a marvelous woman, a woman of great courage. She inspired us all. The evidence established without a doubt that she was utterly innocent, that it was a wrong charge, that it was politically motivated, and that was a shame.
Already threatening civil suits against the First Lady, both in California, I think, and right here.
I don't know anything about civil suits. I was only involved in her defense in the criminal case.
You said you never won, no, you never lost a criminal case. Is that true, sir?
Talked about Mrs. Marcos's future plans.
About the political plans of the former First Lady, what do you think?
No, we have been discussing this quite often, and she has no political plans now or in the future. Right now, her main concern is how to be able to bring President home and bury him in our country. And someday, she has said this many times, she would like to remain in the private sector and go serving the poor who have stood behind her, behind the president, for their support and their love and their concern. And this is our priority.
I understand what she'd like to do right away is to be able to visit again the president at the Valley of the Temple in Honolulu. And after that, we do it day by day, step by step. The lawyers are, we're a good team of lawyers, and we have a good team of supporters, advisors who may be on their own. They came to support the First Lady, and they're offering their advices, and so we do it one thing at a time.
This special report was brought to you by RCBC and Rusty Lopez, warned to make a difference.
Think big, bank big, RCBC.
Big cash for a big day. Good plans for the little one. RCBC. Big return on your investments. Big surprise on his big day. RCBC. Big foreign transactions.
Think big, bank big,
RCBC.
RCBC.